And we're live. Hey guys, Dirt here. Welcome to another episode of Fomers Friday. And today I'm going to be taking a look at Alpha Trion, which you can see back here in the photo tent behind me. But before we get to that, one little piece of news here. A little while ago, I did a review on Sentinel Prime. And in the review, I said he turns into a spaceship. He turns into a train. I didn't like the train transformation. I said I would prefer the Astro Train type of transformation as opposed to what we got with that figure. And someone was nice enough to point out in the comments, Grimmy's Reviews, I think it was, shout out to you, Grimmy, said that, hey, they're doing an Astro Train and it's just a redeco of that figure. And I was like, oh, that sucks because I really don't like that train. However, got a box that came with figures in it, and the Alpha Trion was in it. And I was like, oh, well, okay, then I have that one to review. What's the other figure in this box in my case here that I ordered? Oh, look. It's Astro Train. I hate this as Astro Train, but I ordered it, apparently. So the one saving grace with having this is that I do like redecos. I'm one of those weird people. I like a good palette swap. That's why I love the Mortal Kombat games. I love the redecos. And so I at least can pull him out. He's the exact same figure except for a different head, a little headmaster guy in there. But otherwise, just the same redecoed. So I will rip this open and put it on display. You can see the other guy right up here. There's Sentinel Prime. I'll put him on display next to him just to have the two decos side by side. So not a complete loss. It still kind of took me by surprise when I got the box and I was like, what is, oh, I ordered that, right? And there it was. So guess what, Grimmy? I got one anyway. All right, let's head back to the photo tent over here. Take a look at Alpha Trion with Autobot Sovereign. And you can see he's got this funky looking head, and that is just cool. But it makes me wonder what his little headmaster guy is going to look like when he comes out. I'm guessing he's got giant, massive gorilla arms or something. I don't know how that's going to work. Unless, is that part of the actual robot? Is that stuff on the side of his head? I don't know, because here, like in the artwork, you can see it shows those as being attached to the head, but I'm wondering if those are actually attached to the figure. Now, here's the other reason why I was kind of surprised I had ordered this. He turns into the ship, which looks pretty cool, but then he also turns into a lion. I'm not a big fan of these animal ones. Now, I know some of you are going to go, well, what about Beastmasters? And look, don't get me wrong. I loved Beastmasters. I mean, here, look at me. I loved Beastmasters, the cartoon, Beast Formers. Beast Formers, not Beast. I don't know. In Japanese, it's one thing. In American, it's something else. And then they did Transmetals and whatever. All right, look. Optimus Primal on that show, I love that. Watching the CGI, nowadays you look at it and it looks like a bad PlayStation 1 game. But back then, it was awesome. War Planets, I remember watching Reboot. And along with that, so I like the property in a sense because the story was fantastic. But when it comes to the toys that actually turn into these animals, I'm not always the world's biggest fan. So we'll see. I'll reserve judgment until I actually transform it on whether or not I think it's the worst thing ever or it's got some redeeming qualities. But that's just tends to be how it goes for me. So let's go ahead, pull this guy out and cut him open here. Where does he open? Along the sides. All right, so one little piece of tape. Not too bad. Maybe, if he'll come out. He did get a little beat up in shipping. The box definitely took a crumple hit there. And our instructions, which I will need. And we will pull this guy out. And trading card here, taped to the back. As you can see here, let's kind of lift. Hey, look, the card. Stats. Fantastic. All right, now we'll get out my tool here. Get this bad boy open. And we'll start here with the sword. One thing about cutting these things open, I just let the little pieces of plastic drop all over the place, and then like in a couple of days, my wife will come by and be like, "What happened to the floor? What have you been eating to drop all those crumbs?" "Oh no, honey, that's plastic." "Plastic from what? What did you buy?" "Nothing." So got to remember. I hope I remember to vacuum after the show. Otherwise, might get in a little bit of trouble with the missus. All right. So here, whoa, and we lost a piece. Oh, that sucks. All right, let's head back to the photo tent. Let me throw him in there. He doesn't want to stand. He wants to fall over. Don't fall over. I don't want the Transformer that falls over drunk. I want the one that's cool. I want the one that can take his liquor. What is going on with these legs? He literally, okay. Ugh, can I turn him without him? He wants to fall. He just oh my gosh. What is with this guy? Do these move somehow, some way that they're not? All right, so I tilted him forward. He's doing a little bit of that Michael Jackson lean. But there's that. Let me see if I can find this piece that fell on the floor. That's always a great feeling when you get a brand new toy and you go to open it up and something falls out onto the floor, breaks right away. High quality, Hasbro, thanks. All right, here's this. Here's a sword and his gun, which I guess goes in his hand. So taking a look at him just as he is real quick, he does have obviously a samurai look. There's an obvious samurai influence in the way his robot mode has been put together here. And, you know, it's not bad, really. It's actually kind of cool looking. You obviously have these big things on his arms that are a little wacky. But overall, you know, samurai, especially in some of their ceremonial gear, has a lot of extra, you know, bits on it, little pieces of fabric and stuff hanging down. So overall, him with this look with all of this extra kibble and all these little bits on him, not too bad. This is a little funky though on the back, just having this little cockpit head thing here. I mean, that looks kind of like a lion head, a Voltron lion head right there on the on his back. So that's a little funky, but I mean, you're not going to be looking at that from straight on. I like the colors. It definitely looks interesting. Although since he's got the translucent orange here and on the back, I wish they had worked it in somewhere else, especially right there on his chest. Actually, it looks like they may have, but there's no light coming through. That's another thing. A lot of people don't like the feature where the light shines through and it makes something glow, and so they paint over them and whatever. I think Nick Ochoa is that way. Personally, I like when they do that. I like having that glow feature on stuff. Maybe that's just me. And I can see there's another little plastic. There's a rubber band thing. Oh, one on this side. Those are two separate ones. Weird. Okay. So we had some little plastic rubber bands on there to get rid of. And, oh, you can see something stuck there. Whoop. All right. So his midsection is a little weird with this tiny little hips there, or tiny little waist. But for the most part, I think when I look at that, he looks powerful. He looks mean. He looks big. He looks strong. I like the sword. The gun thing here is a little funky looking, but that's to be expected because it becomes the little ship for the headmaster guy to fly around in. But I think just on its own, you know, just looking at that as the robot and having that samurai look to it, definitely with the head, you know, if they tried to just say it was just some, you know, random guy, whatever, it would look ridiculous, I think. But because they gave him the right look on the head to give you that, try not to stick my hand right in front of the camera, my arm block it. Hey, look at this. You can't see anything. But I think because they gave him this look on the head that has that samurai look to it, that having all this other stuff really does kind of add to it. It looks pretty cool. It's not a huge problem. So, all right. So now what we're going to do is, I hate doing this part live. I hate doing this part on the live show. I'm actually going to sit here and transform this guy, and I hate doing it because I'm all thumbs. I got no skill. I got no swagger. I'm a big goofy dude who most of the time has a hard time figuring this stuff out. But we're gonna. Okay, so the head pops off. So these things. Here, let me throw this back in real quick now that we've taken the head off, just to get a better look. So the head, does pop off, and these things do stay behind. So the little, it's almost like bug pincers, like an Insecticon thing. Those are still there. They are not part of the head. So that makes the head a little more normal in his transformation. As we just fold him out, and you can see just a regular looking little robot dude. Nothing too incredibly amazing, just like all the others. I was really hoping that there'd be something extra there to make him stand out, but nope, not what you get on this guy. All right, so we're going to take off those weapons, toss those in there. I'll toss the head in there just to be safe with that. Okay, so we'll push these down. These are supposed to go. These are supposed to go down. These go down according to the instructions. Well, that's about as best as I can do here. All right, we're going to take these arms, and we're going to twist them, and fold them up into the mouth. These hands don't do anything else, really? It seems... Oh, I see. Okay, so the hands are becoming part of the jaw. Gotcha. And then we turn them around and we flip this up. This thing, which doesn't really want to go. How does it go? Oh, does it go? What am I even doing here? I don't even know. There's some little holes. I like when you go to transform these and just things make sense. Oh, like there's little peg holes for things to go in, and you go, oh, okay, well then obviously that's where those need to go. But a lot of times you don't get that. So now I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the heck's going on, and these just won't stay down. All right, so transform this, flip the head around. And it looks like we're going to put the head together. So it's like a unicorn lion thing. It's a lion with a unicorn horn. I wonder if that's a thing. Like, is that a thing in Japan? Is a unilion? Like, is that a big... Because I know before, the geek sent me to review his little, like, badger. What is that? Woodchuck? Whatever it was, and it had giant balls. And I was like, oh my gosh, why does this thing have giant balls? And it turns out like that's a Japanese cultural thing. Like, hey, look at the giant balls on that woodchuck. That's a deal. So yeah, so apparently these little horns are supposed to stay down because this cockpit head thing is supposed to attach to the part of the body that comes up here, so it's got to sit in that spot according to these instructions. Goes together. Okay, so we got that. So we got to bring down the paw hands that keep breaking. That's such a good feeling. I love when my toys are just coming apart like that, especially because they're so cheap, because you only pay a buttload of money to buy these things, and then they just kind of fall apart on you, and you're like, yes, I'm so glad that's happening. All right, fold this up this way. Oh my gosh, they should, here's what they should do is they should force everybody at Hasbro who comes up with these transformations to sit and watch me struggle. The struggle is real, people. The struggle is real and it exists. It is here now. All right, so then this leg comes down. This leg comes down. And we do what? Something go. Oh, I'm supposed to stick the sword in his butt? Apparently. All right, so apparently you just stick this sword up his rear end. I'm not sure how comfortable I am with this. Let's see. Where's the spot where it attaches? Where does this go even? I don't see a peg hole for that. But it's sure enough showing that it's stuck in his butt. This doesn't make any sense at all. Like they just show it in the picture. Like, oh yeah, there it is. Right there in his butt. This doesn't go anywhere. What the hell? I mean, seriously, what the hell? This doesn't. There's a hole down there, but the hole doesn't match where you can actually put this. There's no place on the sides to put it. Somehow you're just supposed to stick this up his butt and make it his tail. But I mean, I'm looking at the picture and it just shows an arrow. It just shows an arrow. Okay. All right. Let's jump back here in the photo tent for a second. All right. So here we go. This is our main lion body. Okay. And back here, it shows on the instructions this sword, and it just shows it going boop. And it's the tail sticking out on this guy. The problem is I don't see any place to stick this tail. It's supposed to go handle in with the pointy part out, but I don't see a spot. There's like the little, pin to attach it. There's no hole on the side of the legs where you would attach it. There's no hole where the handle goes in here. Does it clip maybe onto, I see some grooves there. Does it clip onto here maybe? Is that how you do it? Man, that is stupid. All right, look. Here's all the instructions you get for doing what I just did. Hey, look, here's a lion. You take the sword, you stick it in his butt. That's it. I mean, that's why I hate these things. All right. So here he is in his lion mode. Oh, and this pops open. So you can take your headmaster and toss him in there. Somehow he's supposed to fit one way or another. Allegedly. All right, there we go. Then we've got this piece, which does it fit down? No. This goes on the side, on his leg, maybe? We can throw it there? Okay, I guess. All right, so what we have is not so much a lion as a unicorn lion, which I guess makes it more special. It's certainly something. You can see the hands here making the lower jaw. Looks a little weird. Doesn't really seem to meld in. And you've got this big open area here. Now, at least they're not trying to say, hey, it looks like a lion, like alt modes. On the other figures, other characters, you put them into an airplane, it looks like an airplane. You put them into a train, it looks like a train, except unless it's, the new one. But this doesn't really look like a lion. It looks like a big robot lion. And so they've left the gears. They left, all these little bits, exhaust ports and pistons and whatnot. So it's not supposed to look like a lion. It's supposed to look like a robot lion. And from that point of view, I guess you could say it works. If you if you're going to say like a Voltron lion doesn't look like a lion. It looks like a robot that's designed to take on the basic characteristics of a lion. So therefore, I can look at this and I can say, all right, it's a robot lion. It's not supposed to look like the real animal. It's not going to blend in. You're not going to see this thing at the zoo and be like, oh, look at that lion. Oh my gosh, it's been a robot hiding here in front of us the whole time. No, it obviously is designed to look like a mechanical beast. I still don't particularly care for it. Again, the clear plastic here and here really stand out, but in a bad way because they don't match anywhere else on the design. Nothing else. If these had been maybe clear, translucent in there, maybe some of this head stuff in the background, something on the eyes, maybe, I don't know. If they'd put some more details that had that translucent plastic to it, then, it would look a little better. But for the most part, I'm looking at this, and this just, it's a robot lion, sure, but this is not how I would keep it displayed. It's just not a look that I particularly like, and it's not something that I'm going to go for. But hey, if you like it, if you decide, sorry, I just hit the microphone. But if you decide that you like it and you want to display it, more power to you. But for me, that's just not the way I would choose to display them and choose to keep them on the shelf. Okay, now we're going to transform him into the spaceship mode. And of course, the instructions don't show you how to turn him from the lion into the spaceship. They show you how to turn him from the robot into the spaceship, which means we basically have to transform this back real quick and then go around again to turn it into the ship. So I'm going to do this, maybe not 100%, but maybe 90. I'm not a 100 type of guy. I'm a get it done. I'm a solid B+ player. All right. How did we do this? We had this attached. The arms came. Man, I don't even remember now. These were folded out of the way, right? These came down funky like. This, oh, that's the head. That's the top. All right. I'm getting there. One of these days. Flip that around. These went. That's right. They came through to the front. Flipped up. Oh, the other way. There we go. Had the feet backwards. Okay. So then the arms came down. Well, and the little paw broke off again. Thanks, Hasbro. All right. Flip it around. We've got giant shoulders. All right. We've got giant 80s shoulder pads. And I'm not going to put the head in to take the head out again. But again, it shows you start by pushing this down out of the way. And it doesn't go down and it doesn't go out of the way. It doesn't bounce and it won't behave. All right. So again, the hands go back up into the mouth just like they were before. Good thing I took that apart. Okay, so that's folded up. And then what the hell? They go back and then come forward. Looks like. Okay. Weird, but all right. And then we flip it over like this. Does this tab in some? Oh, it does. There are tabs there. All right. See, tabs, the tabbing does help for someone like me. Be like, oh, okay, now I see it. All right. Fold these this way. Purple, okay. Purple, red, got more tabs. Tabs go. Looks like these flip the feet down. And these should, are there more tabs to snap them together? Not in the red. There are no tabs in the red zone. Just in the purple. All right. So we bring these up, snap them together, flip this back, flip that back. This is a piece of landing gear. It flips down here. Okay. And then Headmaster's still in there in the cockpit. He's good. Good to go. This attaches onto there. That makes sense. And the swords on the side. That's our ship. That's our ship. That's our ship. I just shipped my pants. All right. Take a look at this. I'm going to have to adjust the camera here because it's obviously much shorter in this mode. That is our spaceship, apparently. Not a huge fan of this look either. Oh my gosh, this figure is kind of disappointing to me. Outside of that robot mode was pretty cool, but this does not look good. Did I do this right? Where's the box? I'm going to check the box real quick. Grab the box over here and take a look at it and just see here. If we take a look, that's it. That's exactly how it looks. Yep, we transformed it correctly, unfortunately. But yeah, it does not look great. Okay, so first of all, you've got your giant hands sitting there, and you've got this, which is just, they put some texture on it just to pretend like they cared about it. But I mean, you got the giant screws sticking out, which screws, I mean, you can't really, I mean, what are you going to do about screws? You got to have them in there. So I guess maybe you could paint them so that they don't stand out so much. But I mean, this is just a big bland wall of nothing. Like they just kind of gave up on trying to even, like they don't have any gears or pistons or anything that just gives the illusion there. And we've got these, if you can see, if I can get the camera in here, when I put this gun piece up here, it doesn't actually connect. Can we focus? Focus. It doesn't actually connect here. So it's just sitting on top. It doesn't really look like it belongs there. It just happens to be stuck there. And then right here, you can see this middle hole. It only connects in this one tiny little spot. Nothing else tabs together. Nothing fits. There are no little flaps to fold over it to give the illusion like it's covered up more. I mean, your only flaps are up here, covering up the legs there. Oh, well, we push it a little bit, but still you can see it's just this tiny little bit. It doesn't really connect. And then you've got your paws just stuck on the side of your ship here. These do not tab up front, so they don't stick together real well because all the little tabs are back here to hold things in place. So the front ones don't actually stick, and you can see I'm having a difficult time getting them to line up correctly. And then the sword just attached on the side, I mean, that's whatever. At least it gives you a spot to put it down. But again, in this mode, when you look at it, it's mostly the red and the purple. So these bits of gray really stand out as being out of place, which draws even more attention, to the fact that you got a hand sitting right there in the middle of it. And the bottom is just a mess. A little piece of landing gear is nice, but overall, looking at this thing is not great. This is not a good looking ship. I mean, I would not want to display this as the ship. I would not want to display this as the Unilion. So really, robot mode is going to be it. I'm going to have to put it back in robot mode and put it on the shelf and just leave it at that. At least with Astro Train and Sentinel Prime that use that same, look to them. In the spaceship mode, I liked them. They were okay. And I was more than happy to use them, display them in the spaceship mode sitting on the shelf or the robot mode. But this really only gives me one mode that I'm happy to display it in. And that's not good. 1 out of 3, 33% is not fantastic. So, all right, well, what are you going to do? All right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, check out popculturenetwork.com for more toy reviews, podcasts, comic reviews, all that other great stuff that you're going to find there. Also, you can find us on Google+. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Podbean. You can find our podcast in iTunes. All of those great places. We're looking at maybe putting some of this video content, a couple other spots. I'm doing some Twitch videos if you want to follow on Twitch. We're looking at, what's that place? Another video spot. I can't remember. Movie Plot, was that it? Someone asked us if we wanted to, repost some stuff there. Maybe we will. I don't know. But you can just Google Pop Culture Network. You'll find us. We're all over the place. We're a bunch of weirdos. We got a Tumblr even. I don't know if we use. Does anybody use a Tumblr? Kids still using the Tumblr? Is the Tumblr still cool? The only Tumblr I know of is the cup that you can't knock over. Well, I guess 2, because there's Batman's Batmobile from the movies. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.